Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Swati live from Los Angeles. We are right now in the evening, Thursday evening session on October 15th here in Los Angeles. I had already taught this session this morning, and I'm going to teach it again this evening for those of you who are here live for the evening session. Some of you may have noticed that last Thursday in the evening, I couldn't do a live session, partly because I was not feeling very well. So I'm happy to be here today doing this live meditation session with you guys. So we have identified our quest. We are going to go ahead with finding how to move more towards or learning how to move more towards our quest. Now, having a goal is not just enough. It's not enough just to have the goal. But you have it, you know what your goal is. And now the next thing we want to do is to learn to move more towards the goal. And that is partly what's called strategy. Goal in itself is not enough. We need to have a good strategy. And what is strategy? Now, many of you know that my first degree is from the business school. It's in computer information systems, but I got my PhD in the business school at UCLA. Now, because of that, I have some background in the business school ideas, and naturally, I'm going to think in those lines. So when I think about quest, moving more towards the quest and coming up with a good strategy, I think about research done by a professor at UCLA Business School called Dr. Rumelt. He has written a book called Good Strategy and Bad Strategy. So what he basically says is it's very important to identify a problem. So a lot of times companies, they come up with mission statements, they come up with goals, and then they just want to do all the good things to move towards the goal. But that's not enough. What you really need to do is to identify a problem, define a problem. And only when you know the problem, then you can come up with an action plan to move more towards the problem, like step by step, what you want to do. Our problem or what we are trying to do here is somewhat similar to that. Now, I just want to sort of disclaim one thing, that when it comes to using mindfulness philosophy and mindfulness meditations for spiritual purposes, obviously goals and quest is not the way people think about. In fact, that's all supposed to be part of the illusion. And one of the reasons why that happens is because of the attachment issue. The overly driven, like people get as if they are hamsters on a wheel, they just keep going round and round, and they create miseries for themselves. And we have talked about the banana story, we have talked about how attachment is what creates misery, and all those good things about mindfulness meditation philosophy. Now that's what we are going to use. So we are householders, we have a right to have our quest and move more towards it. But because of our mindfulness philosophy and mindfulness training, what we want to do is we don't want to become a hamster on the wheel, a miserable monkey moving more towards the goal. We want to do it with some happiness. We want to have our own pockets of joy and pockets of happiness as we move more towards our quest. At the same time, what we want to do is we want to get insights into our problems. So first step is to know what the problem is. So think about it this way. When you think about your quest or where you want to be, what's coming in your way? I have already asked you this, and I had in fact asked you to take a pen and paper and write it down. I'm kind of saying the same thing, but in slightly different way, in more the business school, what should I say, language or way of looking at things. Identify the problem, and then we'll come up with an action plan. So first we have to know what's coming in your way. If you are trying to move more towards being happy, being content, what's coming in your way? Is there something in your personality or the way you look at the world that's coming in your way? It's important to identify the problem. If you are wanting to have better relationships, typically speaking, compassion, not having having too much anger, rather having too much anger and having difficulties with the way you are being treated, that's typically the problem. If you are moving more towards your goal, like a career goal, it could be fear of failure, or it could be not having enough faith in your own abilities, or you have to identify the problem. I need to do, or I'm not doing enough networking, or whatever it is, that identify the problem. Once you identify the problem, then next thing is to come up with how to move more towards removing the problem or take some actions. So take some action. So what actions to take? That's where the insights come in the picture. So there is one issue here, which is it's not possible to come up with action step 1, step 2, step 3, and keep moving towards the goal with those steps, because sometimes uncertainties come up, unexpected problems may show up. And if that happens, that's where mindfulness is again going to be very useful for you, because you know this will pass too. You can sit through the unpleasantness and wait to know what you want to do through insights. So that is the process you're going to go through. So remember, identify the problem, what's coming in your way. Think about it, analyze it in your mind, not when you're meditating. Outside the meditation, think about this. Kind of, not in a miserable way, but let it stay with you. Think about what it is. Then, when you are actually meditating, you will be doing feeling awareness meditation, thought awareness meditation. Nothing to do necessarily with analyzing how to solve this problem. But we are hoping that as you do more and more of this, you will get some insight. While you are getting the insight, you continue doing whatever you were doing, whatever you had planned to do. Now, for example, let's think about relationships. I said that typically there is anger against someone. If you want to build a good relationship, the anger comes in your way. Or sometimes the person has said something to you that's so hurtful that maybe you're not angry, but you're so hurt, you can't believe it. You feel insulted. You feel like you can't carry on with that. This person is not treating you right. And you don't want to carry on with that. And you don't want to have any relationship with the person. If you have decided that I have no problem with it, it is only when you would like to overcome whatever is going on and you would like to move more towards having a better relationship with this person or collect more friends. Guess what? Compassion is what is going to be useful. So the problem may be your anger, your hurt, your insults. And one of the things that we can say would help you is to develop a general sense of compassion, because that is going to give you new understanding of this person, the person's actions, or why they may be doing that. And the loving kindness compassion meditations really help to build that kind of attitude. The attitude may be a general attitude and it applies to this person too. So, given that today we are going to do a loving kindness meditation, partly because it is always a good break to create the good feelings, or rather turn towards the goodness that exists in this life, in our world. Yes, there are problems, but there is also a lot of goodness. There is compassion, there is love, there is kindness, there is gratitude. There are a lot of these kinds of things that give us joy. So today we are going to do a loving kindness compassion meditation with the intention of possibly getting slightly new view of the person you may be having problems with. So let's do a loving kindness compassion meditation. Are you ready? If you are, close your eyes while I get rid of this bottom here. And take a few deep breaths. And now let's begin our meditation by first paying attention to the breath. Breathe in and breathe out and pay attention to the breath, the center, the most vital part of our life. Just simply pay attention to how your body is receiving your breath. And now, in front of your mind's eyes, bring an image of a person who is a mere acquaintance. You don't know this person that well. You have neutral feelings towards this person. And bring his or her face or image in front of your mind's eye. And as you're looking at this person in your mind, send loving kindness, compassion to this person. I send loving kindness, compassion. A deep understanding that this person may be going through similar issues or problems like everybody else at the moment or maybe in the past. And if so, the problems be reduced. And a sincere wish that the happiness for this person may increase. Breathe in loving kindness, compassion. Allow your body to be filled up with loving kindness, compassion. Breathe in loving kindness, compassion. And breathe out and send loving kindness, compassion to this person. I send loving kindness, compassion. And now, in front of your mind's eye, view a person who you love, who you care about, who feel close to this person. Bring their image in front of your mind's eye. And send loving kindness, compassion to this person. Deep understanding of what they may be going through or may have gone through. A deep common humanity understanding. and a sincere wish that their problems be reduced and their happiness be increased. In front of your mind's eyes, view this person to be happy and send your loving kindness, compassion to them. Breathe in loving kindness, compassion. Allow your body to be filled up with loving kindness, compassion. And breathe out and send loving kindness, compassion to this person. And now, in front of your mind's eyes, view a person who's been difficult in your life. You may have anger, you may have felt hurt by this person, a difficult person. Bring their image in front of your mind's eyes. And send your loving kindness, compassion to this person. A deep understanding that this person, in whatever anger you may have felt or whatever they may have done, that there is pain and suffering, a common humanity, common experience. Or this person may have experienced problems that you're aware of outside of you, and send your loving kindness, compassion, as in a sincere wish that the problems be reduced and the happiness be increased for this person. Breathe in loving kindness, compassion. And breathe out loving kindness, compassion and send it to the person. And now in front of your mind's eye, bring your own image, yourself, and send your loving kindness, compassion to yourself. A deep understanding that whatever problems you have had, whatever pain you have experienced, a deep understanding of that as a common humanity, not a blame game, not criticism, but a simple common humanity experience. You understand what you have gone through, and you send a sincere wish that the problems be reduced and the happiness be increased. Breathe in loving kindness and breathe out loving kindness, compassion for yourself. May I be happy. May I be at peace. May I be at ease with myself. I send loving kindness, compassion to myself. I fill myself up with loving kindness, compassion, and I send it to people who I don't know that much. I also send it to people who are very close to me, who I care about. I also attempt to send loving kindness, compassion to the person who has created difficulties for me or who I don't like that much. But I will try to experience loving kindness, compassion for this person. And then I will have loving kindness, compassion for myself. If there is anything I haven't done right, I forgive myself. I send loving kindness and compassion to myself. And now come back to the breath again. Breathe in and breathe out. And pay attention to the breath. And say the line 3 times in your mind. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. And you can open your eyes slowly at first and then all the way. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to just say a couple of things before I end our session. And the couple of things are these. In the next 1 week, as I said, identify what's stopping you from moving more towards whatever you want. Identify the problem. If you're not able to identify the problem precisely, meditate. Not necessarily, oh, I want that I have to analyze the problem, analyze the situation to get the problem. But start with this general notion in your mind that, yeah, I wonder what's stopping me. And then just pay attention to the feelings and thoughts, open awareness meditation. And it's quite likely that some problems will come to your mind. Write it down. And then keep doing these meditations every day. Sometimes you may want to do body scan, sometimes feeling and thought awareness, and sometimes loving kindness. It's completely up to you. But decide how long you want to do it and try to stick to it. Now, with that, I'm going to say bye to you, and I will see you all next Thursday. Bye.